Alright, I think we are running. Hi guys, my name is Emmy Fisher. My character on Ark is Navy Nomad, and this is my first ever video. I've never actually made a video before to actually upload on something. You've just done small videos on my iPhone. And I am going to be hopefully starting a small channel, really just for myself, kind of document what I do in Ark. But it's going to be about Ark, and it's going to be about building. Now, before anybody comments on it, before we really get started, I want to point out that I do not have the high-tech stuff, I guess, to the tech to really stream or make videos directly through the Xbox or anything like that. This is on Xbox. This is not on PC. I'm gonna turn the volume down a bit here. I am literally taping this on my phone in front of my TV because I just don't have the equipment to really do anything besides that. I live in a small rural town in southern Arizona. My internet here is practically non-existent, and I just don't have the budget for fancy recording equipment, which, I mean, honest, recording is not something I normally do or anything like that. So the audio and the visuals you are literally getting straight from an iPhone recording. So please don't complain about that. I really have no choice in the matter with that. Now, I'm all about history. Sorry, the shadow's creeping across the side of the screen there. I'm all about history. My day job is teaching high school history, and I really love the sort of architectural styles that you get from sort of prehistoric and ancient civilizations. So most of these builds are going to be modeled after things from ancient history, things from prehistory, as well as I can in the actual Ark game. Now, this, as you might be able to tell, is the bare bones of what will become a Roman estate or a Roman villa. And it's probably about 75% done at this point in time. What I really have left to do is some aesthetics, some decoration, some playing around with some paint, adding some side things like I want to get a citronelle grove in there. I want to get some gardens going. I want to get a couple of maybe a dodo coop, sort of a corral or a sort of side pasture, something like that. But this is the bare bones, at least, of the house. And I do want to point out that I am doing my best to make these buildings as accurate as possible, but there's going to be a couple of reasons why they might not be. Reason number one is, of course, simply game mechanics. Because of the way that the building works on Ark, or doesn't work occasionally on Ark, or because of the way that the game itself is set up, terrain-wise and location-wise, you're not going to get anything 100% here. So working around that as best as I can, I'm going to do sort of my best approximation in the game itself of what that building would have looked like. Another reason it's not going to be entirely accurate is simply because there's not enough variety in terms of the actual building materials on Ark to be able to do that. For example, if you know anything about ancient Rome, they had round columns. I'm honestly surprised that they don't have round columns on Ark, because, or at least pillars that could convert to columns or back and forth, kind of the way they did it with the S+ stairs and ramps. I am super psyched that we actually finally got S+ as part of an actual official patch, so that's great. But in terms of actual decoration and material, there's not anything on Xbox or on console where I'm going to be able to play around with that. I'm sure that there's probably a few mods on PC that would allow me to make this more authentic and more realistic and more decorated. Things like the eco trees, or that one mod where you can make ponds and fountains. I'd really love to have those, believe me I would, but in order for me to play this game on PC, I am going to have to get a gaming computer, and that is a year or two down the line, budget-wise. So, this is pretty vanilla, to be honest. It's going to be basically straight game mechanics. It does have S+, because that is now incorporated, but other than that, those are reasons why this build will not be 100%, but I will be doing my best. Now, how are these videos going to go? Well, basically, some of them are just going to be sort of walking through what I've already built. I do hope on, if I get a couple of comments on this video, or people sort of like it, I get some thumbs up, the next few episodes will be me sort of fleshing out this estate. Right now it's kind of a long rectangular box. Okay, not quite a box. It definitely does have some variations and textures. But I am going to be fleshing it out in terms of decoration, adding or changing small things, fixing a few small things, and, you know, throwing some paint in there, trying to get it looking as close to a Roman villa as I can. So some of the future episodes might be me actually working through that with you guys and kind of learning through trial and error how that works. But I didn't do that with this because I knew that there was going to be a lot of trial and error to figure this out. And this took me about 2 hours to build, to be honest. The hardest part is going to be the impluvium you can kind of see there at the end, because I had to work with pillars and ceilings there, really, and that kind of, if you know anything about Ark, you know that that can be really tricky, and some things that you think would be supported structurally end up not be, and you have to play around with that. But what I'm going to do with this one, basically, is kind of aim for a 15-minute or less video where I walk you through the different areas, tell you a little bit about each area, and then at the end, hopefully, give you a bird's eye view, really. I mean, more of a bird's eye view of the beautiful lake and surrounding area, and my plans for future episodes and how I want to decorate it. Now, a couple of stats here. We are on the center map. I know that when it comes to the center map, people usually have a love-or-hate relationship with it. I think it's a beautiful map. Yeah, occasionally it doesn't render well, and you've got definitely some glitchy areas, but in terms of the actual map itself, I think it is one of the more beautiful maps. I'd have to say it's top 3 for me. And I've been playing on it. It was the first one I started playing when I got the actual Xbox, just to kind of do a practice run, because I started Ark on Switch. Yeah, Switch, and I'm not a gamer, really. Most of the games that I play are all older PC games from 10-15 years ago. So to me, at first, the graphics were fantastic, really, on Switch for me. But none of the DLC is on Switch yet. They're not really letting us know when that happens, and I really loved the game so much. I started in November when it came out, that by the time I got to sort of spring break, really, I really was like, I need the DLC, I need the extra maps, I need to be able to play around with this. My favorite map is Scorched Earth, and my other favorite is Ragnarok, so you'll probably see me doing some builds on those in the future as well. But for now, let's just drop down in here and take a look. So I'm going to get down off my RG over here. Now, there shouldn't be anything spawning in the direct vicinity that would eat me or my RG. So I'm just going to leave them right here. But we're going to go ahead and go in... Ooh, I've got to drink something first. Go into the actual build. Hello, beaver. There is a beaver stuck underneath my foundation here. He snuck in there and then got trapped. I may free him someday. I may not. We'll find out. Alright, so... this build differs slightly from a Roman build in the sense that I have this sort of central courtyard area. I do plan on adding some doorways and stuff in here, but this is the central courtyard area because I'm pretending it's like a Roman farm or estate, not so much a house in town. Normally the central meeting area would be the atrium, but that's actually going to be down here because I made it a separate building. I did that because I had to. The way that the terrain worked and the pond worked, it just wasn't going to work because I did want on the other end the peristyle hall over here, but I'll take a look at that in a second. So we'll start off with the atrium. Now this is the atrium. It is a columned hall, excuse the beavers, and this is the sort of central pool area that would be known as the impluvium. Now, normally the walls would be a little bit higher and the opening in the ceiling would be not as large, but it wasn't really going to look good for what I was doing here, so I just widened it up a bit. And I didn't want the roof coming all the way down here because I found with the adobe roofs that you have this really awkward situation where you can't walk under them. You can't walk into the covered area when you've got that roof in the way. I don't know what it is. I've tried making my characters in various games shorter. It doesn't really seem to help a lot with that. So it is a sort of a wider, shallower impluvium that you would have, and up here would be the confluvium. I do hope on building a few other Roman builds in the future, maybe I'll have a more accurate atrium. But this is the atrium area. We've got this lovely sort of colonnaded hall here. This is all unpainted. And it goes around and you've got the pool of water in the center. Now I do wish this pool of water was higher, but it's really awkward trying to get a flat pool base utilizing a regular pond, so that didn't work out so well. I am kind of happy I got a plant in there though, because it adds a little bit of texture. But you'll see there's a bunch of plants sticking up through everything as well. You can't really get away from that on a grassy map, believe me, I've tried. But this is going to be, oh, it's raining. The atrium. I am thinking about making the inner square here out of adobe ceilings rather than stone ceilings, because I think that might look nicer and then have the stone actually underneath here. Ideally, I would have adobe foundations. I wanted to try and see if you could apply paint to them in a checkered pattern, because they are divided into quadrants, and that would look really cool. That's something that the Romans actually did. Oh, the sun is going down. Oh dear. My night cycle is really short though, so if we wait long enough, it'll pop up again. But this is the atrium slash confluvium slash impluvium, and it was designed to collect rainwater in the central area and also provide light, because you'll notice that Roman houses generally didn't have, if any, windows on the outside, because if this was a city house, you wouldn't want all the dust and sound and stuff coming in from the streets. Rome was the place where people wanted to be, and it was full of thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So you didn't want all that coming in through your windows, particularly if you're in a nice rich family apartment house villa like this one. So there's that. I do have the sort of rooms over here that are blocked off because there are some pillars inside there that I had to put in structurally to keep to get this flat columned area. That's just how it worked out. There was a situation where I was putting down pillars that should have structurally held what I needed them to hold next to it, and they didn't for whatever reason. And if you know anything about Ark, you know it's glitchy like that, so I just blocked these off to make them look nicer. I haven't decided if I'm going to put ceilings up below this arced area or not. Based on the diagrams of Roman houses I've seen, they would have, and they probably would have been wood, so I might play around with that in the future. I could cover this, and I did cover it, but it actually made the opening from the stairs kind of really small and enclosed, and I didn't want to do that. I suppose I could put the ramp wall, the sloped walls on the other side there, but not on this side. I might play around with that. So far, these are kind of the side stair entrances. I'll probably have railings over here, and it's all symmetrical mostly in that sense. But here's the central courtyard area. These side buildings here, these side rooms, are actually going to be divided up. I made these narrow side rooms here. These are going to become bedrooms coming off of the peristyle here, but I haven't gotten to that point. But I originally made these side rooms simply to hide that. Whenever you make the sloped walls going in like that, and you don't have the sloped walls coming out on the other side, as you do see in some Roman buildings, you get that sticking out with the adobe in Ark, and it just really bothers me. The wooden sideways ones, not quite so much, but I just built these sort of side rooms to hide that. But these are eventually going to become the bedrooms. These are going to be divided up. This is going to be the kitchen, and the gallery, because I am going to be hanging some paintings. Over here, there's another set of 1 by, I don't know, 7 or so rooms on the other side of this, but this is going to be the library in here. It's divided in 2, and this will be the workshop where I have the forges and the smithies. This is the entrance to the peristyle, which is the sort of gardened area. Another reason why there's this big courtyard in the middle is because I wanted to find a tree I could work this around. On the center map, it's really difficult because there's not a lot of short, bushy trees. I'm going to have a lot more luck on Ragnarok, and I might have more luck in the actual underworld. But it's always freezing in the underworld, and I don't have fur yet, so I haven't really gotten around to that. That might be more of a Ragnarok thing, because there's really areas that look a little bit more like Italy in Ragnarok. Now, if we ever get that Madagascar evolved map as a DLC, I would be so super happy, because another build I want to do is going to be Karen Blixen's house from out of Africa. I would love to do that as a build, so you might see that down the line. But I wanted to fit this in, and I needed to find a spot next to water so I could have the impluvium, and then the tree here in the center so I could have a peristyle hall. And I'm going to be adding a little garden in there just to kind of flesh it out later on. But basically, you're going to have the tablinum here, which I think I might wall off right here. It'll be a little 1 by 4, whatever this is. Tablinum is kind of an office little area. I might wall that off. I might skip it. We'll see. But this is the peristyle hall, and this would have been a sort of central garden area, usually with some sort of central tree and then some smaller bushes along the side. Now you can see here, this is actually where I started the build, so I put all of my storage boxes in here when I spawned in the adobe. I normally don't like to spawn stuff in. I normally like to build everything myself, but I'm on the Xbox and the center map. I can't get scorched earth on this. So I have to spawn it in. And so this is that. Now the bedrooms will be coming off of the side here. There'll be little doorways. And the same will be over here. Haven't gotten there yet. But this would have been the sort of garden retreat area, once again open to the sky to allow light in, because they didn't have lots of windows so much. So that's basically the bare bones of what I've got going here. Now I'm going to get my RG and just kind of give you an idea of what additions there are going to be. I guess the sun's not down quite yet. We're getting there. But I am at one of the beaver ponds. It's one of these safer beaver ponds. I'll show you on the map. I'm right here. I'm about 68-ish. I'm in the middle island. It is one of the least dangerous beaver ponds. So here's what it looks like. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. Once again, I have the lava island over there. It's a beautiful, beautiful map. And that's how that worked out. Now right now it's kind of a long rectangle. It's not going to stay that way. Over on the right side here, I am going to wall off that entire section, probably over right about here, to make a sort of a little corral area. And I'm going to put a little sort of dodo coop on the side there, and maybe a little, I don't know, sheep pen or something like that. I'll clear those trees out. I'll have a sort of a short, squat wall over there with a few plant species X, just in case something wanders up here. But the biggest thing I have seen here is a therizinosaur, which are nasty, but they generally have a pretty short aggro range, and I don't have any here right now. I can always just get rid of those, pick them up, drop them somewhere else. Other than that, I've only seen raptors here. I know a lot of the other beaver ponds have a lot of activity, but not this one. This one is one of the smallest ones. Over on the side here, I'm going to wall off that back section under the arch, here, just so that nothing wanders in that way from down below. But the only thing I've seen down there is a therizinosaur, so hopefully not the case. And I also do plan on over there walling off part of that area. I do plan to wall them off pretty much in the distance, and not using huge walls, because frankly, I don't really need them. I'm not playing this game on crazy difficulty. And I haven't really seen much spawn in here. So they'll be small walls. They'll be kind of in the background, so they don't block anything or kind of ruin the view. But those are plans I have in the future, and then just changing a few things, adding some decor. Hello, Beaver. Adding some paint, trying to throw some red and white in there, make it look like a real Roman villa. But bare bones, I'm pretty proud of. How am I out of stamina already? Wow. Okay. But the bare bones, I'm really happy with. I think it looks nice. The map itself is so pretty. I think it helps it look nice. Thanks for eating that raw meat in front of me. I have yet to name him. I normally name everything, but I've been so busy building. I haven't done that. But yeah, that's generally how that's going to work. So please, if you liked this video or you have questions or comments or suggestions, ooh, nighttime is coming. Please hit a like, make a comment, let me know. I want to give a shout out really quick to some of the channels that really helped me out when I was an Ark noob. First and foremost, shout out to Ark Survival Guide. If you guys have not watched Ark Survival Guide, go and check him out. He's fantastic. He does sort of how-to guides to walk you through everything you need to know about Ark. I love these fireflies. They make everything look so awesome on this map. Yeah, one of my favorite channels. And I haven't watched a whole bunch of channels, so other than that, I love the builds by Unite the Clans. So go check him out if you haven't. And then a couple of builds by Aaron Longstaff. And that's what I'm remembering off the top of my head. Once I kind of find somebody whose videos I like, I stick to them. I don't spend a lot of time on YouTube. So they've really helped me out. So go check them out. If you like this video, hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you like. I'm going to hopefully be getting some videos out periodically here. It won't be every day. I am as mentioned, a high school history teacher. I have very little time on my hands, particularly right now. It's testing season. Fun. But over the next couple of episodes, I hope to flesh this out, add those things I mentioned, throw some paint in there, throw some decor in, and make it look nicer. Like I said, it's bare bones right now. But that's it for today. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the future.